Museum of Fine Arts. I already see people taking Instagram pictures. The Vietnamese and their IG pictures. This is where we are. 30,000 dong, and they'll sing a song. Let's go see some fine arts, shall we? It's about $1. Xin chào. Let's get up in here, shall we? Alright, I guess I'll just get lost in here. These are the kind of places I like to go. This is my vibe, not the fucking bars and clubs and etc. This was made in 1996. That's the year I was born. And then this one was made in 1998. This was made in 1957. Last night I was talking with this dude who works at the hotel that I'm staying at. And we were having a really good conversation. Ooh, this is really cool. I really like this one. A little biased because it's black and white. Black and white is my thing. I really like this one. Good, that's 2004. But yeah, we kind of talked about quite a bit. He was asking me about my beliefs. I told him I don't believe. I told him belief is the root cause of most suffering in the world. People don't kill each other because they have differences. People kill each other because they have beliefs. People don't hate themselves because of reality. They hate themselves because of their beliefs. Beliefs are something I think most people should stay far away from. All people, actually. You believe you're better than someone. You believe what you think is right, and you believe what someone else thinks is wrong. You believe you have the authority to dictate what another human should or should not do, think, say, feel. I told him no human has any authority to cause the suffering of any other human. No being has the authority to cause the suffering of any other being. And it's the belief that you have that authority that causes all the wars, all the violence, all the bloodshed, all the pain, all the suffering that you see around you. Belief is nothing but a lie that you tell yourself to keep yourself comfortable in your ignorance. Once you can admit that you don't know, that's when the suffering ends. The suffering you cause yourself, the suffering you cause others. There's no necessity to believe anything. Belief is delusion. 2009. And it's the belief. You believe your beliefs are inherently more valuable, more just, more righteous than someone else's beliefs, when really all beliefs are not valuable. All beliefs are unjust. All beliefs are disrighteous. No belief is good. You don't need to believe in yourself. You know yourself. You don't need to believe in anything. Knowledge through experience is the ultimate power. If you want your suffering to end, stop believing things. Admit you know nothing. Admit you're severely insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe. Quit believing you're important. Quit believing you deserve things. Quit believing what people tell you. Quit believing what you tell yourself. Belief is delusion, and delusion is never valuable. Delusion is never useful. Delusion is never productive. Admit you know nothing and open yourself up to the opportunity of knowledge. Disbelief is belief as well. It's just belief that it's not. Belief that something isn't. Disbelief is no better than belief. It's all deception. And deception is not something you want to steep in if you wish for growth, if you wish for peace, if you wish for true happiness. Not fleeting happiness, not dopamine release, not stimulation. Real happiness comes from knowledge, understanding, wisdom. The less you believe, the more you'll exist. The less you believe, the more you'll become to know. Understanding is power. Knowledge is power. And not power in the sense of dominance, power in the sense of utility. If you want to live a useful life, you want to stop believing things. If you wish for growth, if you wish for progress, you want to stop believing things. Belief is a delusion. It's a lie you tell yourself to keep yourself comfortable in your ignorance. Ignorance is in the opposite direction of growth. And there are plenty forms of delusion. There are plenty forms of lies. There are plenty forms of deception, plenty forms of belief. Assumptions are belief. Arrogance is belief. Run away from your assumptions. Run away from arrogance, humility, understanding. The more you assume, the more deluded you are. The more you exist in delusion. One cannot exist in delusion and expect progress. One cannot exist in delusion and expect growth. One cannot exist in delusion and expect happiness. The more you open yourself up to receiving understanding, knowledge, wisdom, compassion, the sooner you'll begin to grow. The longer you run from the pain of admitting you're an idiot, the longer you'll be one. The longer you allow yourself to believe you're more important than you are, the longer it'll take to become significant. Truth is what you're after. Belief is the opposite of truth. Deception, delusion is what you should run from. And like I said, arrogance is deception. Assumptions are deception. You cannot expect to reach the potential that you have by being deceived, whether it's deceived by yourself or deceived by others. And you can only be deceived by others if you believe. I understand that understanding is a lot harder to come by than believing. I understand it takes more work to build knowledge than to build assumptions. I understand it's a lot more comfortable to be arrogant than it is to be humble. People don't like to admit that they're insignificant, but the sooner you can get yourself to do that, the sooner you'll gain control of yourself, and the sooner you'll be able to walk towards what you deem significance to be. But for as long as you allow yourself to be deceived, you'll never be in control. And if you're never in control of yourself, you don't exist. You're going to continue to live and use your energy to move towards what other people tell you you're supposed to move towards. Discomfort is the first sign of growth. The more you can allow yourself to be in the discomfort of reality, the more you can allow yourself to not fiend for the comfort of delusion and distraction and deception, the less painful it is to keep moving in that direction. If I could impart one thing on the world, it would be to cease believing anything. If you haven't come to understand something through your lived experience, through brushing against reality, through the friction of real life, don't cling on to a concept you haven't tested. And being scared to test that concept, the fear of judgment, whether it be the judgment of others or the judgment from yourself, is not a reason to believe something. If you have to be scared into thinking something, it's probably not true. You don't have to be scared into thinking that you should breathe. You understand through lived experience, if you try to stop breathing for long enough, you will no longer exist. What is it you truly know? How much of your life is built on actual knowledge? And how much of your life do you live doing, thinking, saying, believing certain things because you're told that's what you should or have to think, or else? Challenge your assumptions. Challenge other people's assumptions. Happiness is on the other side of your fears, not the other side of your comforts. Growth is happiness. The human experience cannot remain in a pleasant state if they're not shown light towards growth, if they're not shown there's a purpose to all the suffering, the struggle, the confusion. If all you'd ever be is what you are now, what's the point? If what you assume to be, if your beliefs that you have now is all you'd ever have, what is the point? If you're already at your limit, your peak, what's there to look forward to? What does that phrase even mean, look forward? Why is it good to look forward to something? It's not like we say you should look backwards. It's because the human being has always and will always seek progress, seek growth, seek development. And that's why when you sit around and do nothing with your life, you become depressed. That's why when you think you see no way out, it's not a happy feeling. There's a major difference between happiness and comfort, happiness and stimulating distraction. Take your life serious. Understand that this may be the only shot you have. This may be your only chance to experience existing. So why would you waste it living based on other people's deceptions, your own deceptions? You're not existing. Challenge yourself. Challenge other people. Positivity does not mean smiling and letting bygones be bygones and not telling people when they're wrong and just laughing and spending your entire life looking at memes. Positivity does not mean being scared of confrontation. Positivity means growth. Negativity does not mean being scared to say things that may offend or hurt people's feelings. Negativity means decay. Positive means to add, to move forward, to develop. Negative means to decay, to wither away, to destroy, destruct. And a lot of times, to wake people up, they need to be made felt uncomfortable. They need confrontation. They need told what they assume, what they believe is deception, is not useful. Positivity does not mean being a hippie. Positivity means aiding in growth. The truth is not negative. Lies are negative. And the little white lies that you tell people to avoid confrontation, to avoid making people upset, to avoid losing quote-unquote friends, to avoid quote-unquote tarnishing relationships, that's negative. Your inability to have a spine is negative. And every action you take, every thought you have, everything you do, say, think, you should be asking yourself if you're moving towards and progressing towards growth. Not if it makes someone happy and comfortable. If you know someone's doing something that's going to cause their life to move backwards, and you just keep smiling and waving and telling them that they're perfect the way that they are, you're a terrible person. You're a negative person. Just because you feel giddy about it does not mean you're a good person. Does not mean you're positive. You're a deceiver. Deception is never positive. Deception is never good. If all you care about is making yourself feel good, you're a drug addict. A lot of people need to feel bad about themselves and their decisions because their decisions are not beneficial for them, nor the people around them, nor the world they live in. And no one deserves to feel good when nothing they do is positive, productive, progressing, or beneficial for themselves, others, or the world around them. Have a spine. Be willing to call people out. Be willing to hurt feelings. Let's get out of their picture. And that doesn't mean go around being a dick. Respect others. But when you really respect someone, respecting someone means putting their progress, putting their growth, putting their productivity, putting their development first. Before your feelings, before their feelings, before your desires and beliefs. If you really respect someone, if you really love someone, if you really care about someone, you don't give a fuck about hurting their useless feelings. What you care about is seeing them grow. What you care about is seeing them move towards something that's going to benefit them. And if all you can do is tell someone white lies that make you feel giddy on the inside because you think you're some good person, you don't care about nor respect them. All you care about is making yourself feel good, which, like I said before, makes you a drug addict. No one who's ever done anything useful in the world has cared about you or them or other people around them feeling good. The fuck do you literally exist for 120 years maximum. This earth supposedly is billions and billions of years old. We at least know it's older than fucking 120 years. So you're here for a fraction of the time that the world around you is here, that the universe around you is here. So why should your feelings, your fleeting feelings that are here today and gone tomorrow, why should that take precedence over actual tangible reality? That's arrogance. You're not a good person for feeling that way. You're not a good person for acting that way. That's an immature state of being. If you truly care about someone, What matters, what should take precedence, what you should be focused on, is their physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual progress. Their physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual growth. How warm and fuzzy you feel on the inside. You don't fucking matter. If you care about someone, and that means you too, if you care about yourself, if you want growth, if you want to develop, what you need to focus on is your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual beings. That's what matters. And until you can prioritize someone else's physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, until you can prioritize your own, you don't actually care. You're not a good person. Learn to put things that actually matter ahead of your ego. Your ego is unimportant. Your ego is limiting. Your ego is not what should take precedence. Your ego is what's keeping you where you're at. There's no reason to prioritize your ego over your actual, tangible, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies, beings, realms of existence. Until you can learn to prioritize things that matter, you'll never feel as though you're getting anywhere in life. For as long as you always worry about caring about how you feel and how other people feel, you'll never grow. You'll never help other people grow. Learn to admit you're unimportant. Learn to admit you don't know anything. The world is 10,000, 10 million, 10 billion, 10 trillion times older than you are. The minuscule things you've come to experience in your life are not some grand pieces of wisdom. You're not a genius just because you've read stuff on the internet. Everyone is a fucking idiot, including me. The sooner you can learn to admit that, the sooner you'll start to see actual progress in life. The world is not here. The world does not exist to make you happy. The world does not exist to benefit you. You're not the priority. You're not the center of the universe. You exist to benefit the world. And if you're doing nothing to benefit the world, why should you be happy? Why should anyone or anything care? Especially whenever your happiness comes from deceiving yourself and staying in comfort your entire life. Happiness is fleeting. Growth is permanent. Successful people don't care about happiness. And success means moving in a direction you set for yourself. Means making progress towards something that you dictate. Success does not mean being rich. Success does not mean making other people like you through living the way that they think you should live. Success means you say something, you set your fucking mind to it, and you accomplish it. It doesn't matter. The woman who says she wants to be a mother and becomes a mother and gives her all to being a mother and raises her children, she is successful. The man who says that he wants to be a shopkeep and sets out and takes the action needed to become a shopkeep, and he runs his business with all of his focus and determination, he is successful. It doesn't matter how much money you have. That's a delusion. I didn't say you need to focus on money. I said you need to focus on your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual beings. Success is not dictated by society. Success is dictated by you. You are successful when you stake a claim and you fucking go after it with all your might, all your fucking willpower. When you're focused and determined and moving in a concerted direction with conscious energy, you are successful. When you achieve what you set out to achieve, no matter how seemingly significant or insignificant it may be to other people, you are successful. There's already all the money in the world. Money's not important. If money mattered, shit would be changing. If money mattered, shit would it'd already be perfect. What matters is you, the human being, and your ability to consciously control your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being. There's already all the money in the world. What there's not is you being useful, you exerting yourself consciously
towards a productive and worthwhile, meaningful direction. You change the world. Money does not change the world. There's already all the money in the world. What there's not is you. There's your ego, but that's not you. That's lies and deceptions that you've been told, that you've believed since you've grown up. What could you become if you stopped limiting yourself to what you've been told you're supposed to believe, what you've been told you're supposed to be? How much different would the world be if people just were them to the fullest? If they didn't have limiting beliefs and excuses and other boundaries and barriers that they allow to block themselves from just being. Your ego is insignificant. Your potential is far more important than you allow yourself to actualize. There is nothing more important in your life than your growth. The more you allow yourself to grow, the more beneficial you'll be to the world, the more useful you'll be to the world. If you want the world to change, you have to change first. Nothing ever changes if nothing ever changes. And the only thing in your control is you. But that's only if you take the control. Why would you continue to limit yourself to what you already are? It doesn't even make sense. Do you really want to die who you are now? Only have experienced what you've already experienced? Why is it so uncomfortable to people? What is so hard about admitting how limited you've allowed yourself to be? What is so hard about admitting all the possibility and opportunity that there is? What is so uncomfortable about realizing that there's so much more out there for you? There's so much more possible in your life. There's so much more. What makes me uncomfortable, what makes me sick to my stomach, is thinking that there isn't anything out there. Is thinking that this is all that there is. Everything I've done up until yesterday is all I ever do until I die. That's what makes me feel uncomfortable. Remaining who you are now is not the point of existing. You weren't literally spun up from nothingness to not exact your potential. There's no reason any of this logically should exist. There's no reason you should have senses. There's no reason you should have limbs. There's no reason you should be anything but nothingness. And you have all this ability. Choosing not to use it is what would make me uncomfortable. Do you not realize how disrespectful that is to the powers that put you in existence in the first place? Why should you be happy? Who are you? It's not like you made yourself exist. There's no reason anything should be in existence. It doesn't make sense. And to sit around and act like you've got it all figured out and just makes perfect sense, and what you've been told about the world is the truth, the end-all be-all, that's depressing. You want to choose to live before it's not a choice anymore. Who knows if you get this opportunity again? Take life serious. Why would you want to be a joke? There has to be people that you've loved that have been taken out of this world, been taken out of existence, not of their own accord. And even if they chose to do it themselves, you think they're sitting up there in eternity looking down on you with gratitude that you're choosing to just sit in comfort, in distraction, in delusion for your entire life? You don't think that they'd enjoy the opportunity to possibly exist again, to enact their potential? Live honorably, if not for yourself, for those that can't, for those that don't have the ability anymore. Billions and billions and trillions of people have been taken out of this existence, not of their own accord, of no will of their own. But you think you're a good person because all you do is tell white lies and avoid confrontation. Do you never question yourself? Do you never fucking think? All you have to do is think about that for 3 seconds and it's like, oh shit, that's right. My feelings and self-deception don't matter. Oh shit, I am being selfish by seeking comfort my entire life. I am being disrespectful. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that. It doesn't take a genius, it doesn't take a Buddha, it doesn't take a God to realize you're fucking up. Quit making your consciousness, your growth, someone else's responsibility, something else's responsibility. Take your life serious. Quit avoiding discomfort, quit seeking comfort, quit allowing yourself to be distracted. Delusion is the root of all evil.
and deception is its favorite pastime. And literally, I'm not shit. So I know if I can understand this, no one else has any excuse. I'm not special. I wasn't born into some conscious, spiritually enlightened, wealthy family. I'm from the ghetto, honestly. So if I can take the time to put forth the conscious energy to understand this, no one else has any excuse not to. How much pain and suffering in the world are you responsible for by not enacting your potential, by not becoming who you can become, by remaining the same useless life form that you've been since you were born? How much of the pain and suffering in the world could be gone, could be destroyed, could be cured if you'd actually just put forth some focused, concerted energy and were conscious about the way that you lived? How are you okay with letting all this slip by? How are you just fine with that? How are you okay with having zero growth, zero progress in a world of infinity? How are you fine with nothing and being the cause of it in a world of infinite possibility? Why do you always make it up to something else or someone else? It's up to you. There's nothing stopping you or holding you back besides yourself. Allow yourself to open up onto the infinite possibilities that are before you. There is no logical, rational, respectable, honorable reason that you should be limiting yourself through your beliefs, through your assumptions, through your delusions. Like I said, how much of the pain and suffering in the world are you responsible for by choosing to continue existing the way you've always existed, by choosing decay instead of growth? Who knows how much better of a place the world could be if you'd get off your ass, if you'd fucking take your ego by the fucking throat and drown it. Why do you assume you know anything?
I have an opportunity to meet a famous people.
No, I'm not famous. Are you from Vietnam?
Yeah, and come take a picture with you.
Yeah, of course. Here, I'll put this down.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah.
Good. It's a very beautiful country and culture. I really appreciate it.
I am very
No worries.
blessed to visit.
Yes, I've been to Vietnam. I like it a lot. What a nice guy. That's the second time I've been told I'm famous. Nowhere near it. What's more important, your comfort or your development? And I mean, think of all the people who don't get the opportunity that you have. Think of all the people who don't get the opportunity to enact their potential. Think of all the people who, by no will of their own, have had their existence taken from them. And you just choose to give yours up. You choose to enslave yourself because you never allow yourself to exist in the first place. Is that fair? Is it honorable? Is it admirable that you have all the possibility in the world at your fingertips, but you choose to enact none of it? Do you think you'll feel good about that on your deathbed? Do you think that's going to be an enjoyable feeling? To think about all the things that you could have done, everything that you could have been, but deliberately chose not to be? Because you'd rather seek comfort? You'd rather seek false positivity? Your decisions matter. And the choices you don't make are still choices. And every choice bridges a gap between dimensions, between realities. You choosing to do something or choosing not to do something puts you in a whole new reality, a whole new dimension. That's why it's called a decision. It's an incision between dimensions. Give me a second. Only thing keeping you in the current dimension is your decision to stay here. If you want to leap into another dimension, make the decisions that get you there. There's no reason I should be here. There's no reason I should be anywhere near here. But I made the decision to leave the dimensional reality of me being trapped in America. I could have just as easily made the decision to stay there. But when you make that decision, the two realities diverge. So you could have been in this reality, but you fucking forked and you went left. So you're in this reality. It's up to you to choose which path you walk down. And you make hundreds and hundreds and thousands of decisions every single day. So the better you get at decision making, the faster your dimensional rifts
will diverge. If you want to change your life, you have to make the decision to do it. You can't just keep being the same. There is no one to blame except yourself. You are the arbiter of your fate. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame your boss. Don't blame your teacher. Don't blame God. Blame yourself. No one's in control of the decisions you make besides you. Take your life serious. Quit allowing yourself to be a pawn to other people's agendas, to other people's deceptions, to other people's delusion. Take control of yourself. Take control of your physical body. Take control of your emotional body. Take control of your mental body. Take control of your spiritual body. And allow yourself to open up onto the infinite possibilities of existence. The universe is far vaster than you can even conceptualize. No one has the ability to force you to do anything. It's your decisions that keep you trapped where you are or free you from the prison you're currently in. Your decisions change the world. The world doesn't change your decisions. Just imagine, God's like, here, I have this infinity for you. And you're like, nah, it's alright, I'm chilling. If I was God, I'd smack you in the fucking face. And that's what happens. God's like, alright, you're gonna be ungrateful? Throw some fucking life at you. How long is it gonna take for you to realize you need to make different choices? There is no one else or anything else to blame. Your life is your fault. And if you can't handle that, that's your problem. Harriet Tubman understood that. She freed not only herself, but plenty of others, because she realized even in the most extreme circumstance, it was her choice to remain a slave. So I mean, you're not going through anything anywhere near like that, and you're still allowing yourself to be enslaved. How weak is that? How could you ever be okay with that? People love to say honesty is the best policy, but everyone hates hearing the truth. At least be honest with yourself. Self-deception is a terrible evil. You don't even make the devil try anymore. You just do everything for him. Deceive yourself, you enslave yourself, you limit yourself. How long is it gonna take for you to realize it's your fault? How long is it gonna take for you to stop blaming other people? For you to stop making excuses? For you to stop rationalizing? Irrationally rationalizing? How long is it gonna take you? Do you genuinely think life's all about comfort? Do you genuinely think that you were put on this fucking planet to be a mindless fucking comfort-seeking, growth-fearing slave? Because I don't think that's why God created humans. Question your beliefs. Quit treating your beliefs as more of a reality than tangible reality itself. No one knows anything. Every human is fallible. The humans that you think are special or more significant just took the power of self-control and deliberation and consciousness upon themselves. They stopped seeking comfort and started seeking growth. What do you gain from avoiding growth? I think I already went through there. Listen, child. I might end up with a Vietnamese wife. Holy shit. I just got like, whoa. Let me recoup for a sec. Quit waiting for motivation. Quit waiting for a carrot on a stick to dangle in front of you. Quit waiting for impetus. Quit waiting for a bribe from reality. It's never coming. You don't deserve shit. You're either gonna take your life serious or you're gonna fucking die with regret. And more people die with regret than die happy. And that's because they chase happiness their entire life. Your growth is far more important than your immediate fucking, what's it called? I can't even remember. Your growth is far more important than your in the moment happiness, than your fleeting feelings. Live now, because you won't be able to later. There is no later. Now is the only thing that exists. Your memories are lies. Your assumptions are lies. Experience is truth. How much of your life are you willing to waste not living? How much of your life are you willing to watch slip right through your fucking hands? How much of your life are you willing to just let pass you by? Because me, my answer is none. There's no reason to exist if you never exist. It's a sad state of affairs to die before you have ever lived. There will never be the perfect time. The perfect time was yesterday. The perfect time was last week. The perfect time was last year. The second best perfect time is now. Quit waiting for this to happen, that to happen. Quit waiting for life to give you some perfect alignment of planets and stars. Quit waiting for your expectations to be fulfilled. Expectations are delusions. Standards are what matter. Standards are internal. Expectations are external. Standards are what matter. Standards are what are in your control. You don't deserve to expect anything. You don't deserve anything. Who are you? What makes you so fucking important that you think you deserve something? Do you never question your weird ass fucking beliefs? Your weird ass fucking ways of living? The fuck do you deserve? Who are you? What in your right mind makes you think you deserve anything? What the fuck have you done? You deserve the immediate result of your actions, the outcomes of your input. That's all you deserve. I just thought of the word I was trying to think of earlier. Immediate gratification. Quit thinking the world owes you shit. You owe the world. The world doesn't owe you anything. You come from the earth, you'll return to it. You come from stardust, you'll return to it. It takes severe arrogance to sit around and be useless with your hand out expecting things from something far more significant than you are. Do you not realize how parasitic that is? That you sit around with your expectations while providing nothing. You sit around and you demand things from God and the universe when you're literally a useless fucking drain on energy. What do you provide that you think you have any right to have any kind of expectation? Who the fuck are you? All expectation is delusion. Standards are what matter. Standards are internal. Expectations are external. Your standards, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual standards are what matter. Your outcome is based on your standards, not your expectations. Your standards need to be far higher than your expectations. You shouldn't even have expectations. The fact that you think you can fucking stipulate with God on what you expect before you'll put in effort is disgusting. Maybe one day when this happens, once this happens, how is it gonna happen when you don't do fuck? How is anything gonna happen one day if you choose that you're not gonna fucking do anything until that thing happens one day? I'll start doing this when this happens. So you're gonna die with regret. Glad we got that established. You're never gonna accomplish anything. You're never gonna amount to anything, and you're just gonna die with regret because you sit with your hand out and expectations and stipulations from God and the universe, the all fucking mighty, when you're literally a fucking grain of sand. You don't get catered to. There's no reason to believe you deserve anything. There's no reason to believe anything. Trust is belief. Distrust is belief. Arrogance is belief. Assumptions are belief. Belief is deception. Deception is lies. Reality is not built on lies, it's built on truth. So if you wish to be useful, if you wish to enact your potential through reality, if you wish to be able to grab onto tangible reality and do something with it, you can't live based on lies. Lies you tell yourself, lies other people tell you. Stop believing. Only reason people believe, all beliefs are lies you tell yourself to make yourself comfortable in your ignorance. Admit you know nothing. Admit you are nothing. Admit you deserve nothing, and start making the decisions and choices that put you in a place where energetically the outcome is just the result you're after. Fuck deserve. To be lazy, useless, and expectant is crazy cognitive dissonance. And it doesn't take a whole lot of fucking thinking to realize this. Get rid of your assumptions, get rid of your pride, get rid of your ego, get rid of your beliefs. Stop lying to yourself and to others. White lies are still lies. Self-deception is the devil's favorite, is the devil's best friend. Because once you deceive yourself, the devil no longer has to try. Once you deceive yourself, the devil can just kick his feet up. Arrogance is self-deception. Nothing can be built on the foundation of delusion. Anything built on delusion is guaranteed to crumble. Quit feeling as though you're owed anything, because you're not. And the longer you sit around and wait with your hand out, the less time you're gonna have to actually do something with everything you've been given already. You don't wanna wake up to these realizations late in life. The longer it takes you, the more regret you're gonna be filled with. And if it takes you until you're on your deathbed, I feel sorry for you. But I really don't, because it's all in your decisions. I just know I don't want to be on my deathbed and realize everything I did with my life was a waste of energy, a waste of time, and wish that I had another 80 to 100 years to do something with it. Who knows if you get another opportunity? And I don't want to have to come back and do this all over again. I don't want to need another opportunity. This was already enough fucking bullshit to deal with. I don't want to have to go through being born and learn how to fucking walk and speak and read and go to school and fuck all that. I hope I don't have to go through all this again. I hope I realize whatever it is I'm supposed to realize before I'm out of here. And I mean, think about it. If you do come back, who says you come back as a human? What if you come back as a fucking cockroach? What if you come back as a rat? What if you come back and your life is 10 times harder, 100 times harder, 1,000 times harder? If you didn't realize what you're supposed to realize in this lifetime, what makes you think you're gonna realize it then? If you couldn't figure it out with zero excuses, why do you think you'll figure it out with actual excuses? It makes no sense. There's no reason to sit around and wait for impetus. Take your life into your own hands and act on your potential. Become who you can become now, so you don't have to take the risk of never existing in the first place. So you don't have to take the risk of possibly having to come back here to learn the lesson that you were too ignorant to fucking open yourself onto in your first lifetime. There's far too much in life to experience, to see, to receive, to be ungrateful, lazy, expectant, comfort-seeking, and delusional your entire life. There's no reason to sit around and wait for the world to become what you want. If you can't make yourself of use to the world, why should the world make itself of use to you? Why do you believe that you deserve anything? Why do you believe that you deserve to expect anything of something far more significant than you are, when you don't even have the appreciation for it? Why should it give a fuck about you? Arrogance is not a useful tool. Arrogance is not valuable. Delusion is not valuable. Belief is not valuable. Ego is not valuable. And like I said, if I can come to this understanding, being poor, existing in unfavorable environments for a majority of my life, in places with literal evil as the norm, there's no reason anyone else shouldn't be able to come to this understanding. It's up to you to take your life serious. It's up to you to put forth the conscious effort necessary to gain insight from living. If you never pay attention, you'll never get the dividends of wisdom. If you never open yourself up to the information that's directly in front of you, why do you think you would ever gain any knowledge? And idiots don't deserve happiness. People who can't figure out how to be of use to themselves, to the people around them, to the world around them, people whose only care in the world is their own greed, satisfaction, and selfishness, they don't deserve anything. And all they will ever bring to themselves, the people and the world around them, is pain, suffering. If you wish to stop suffering, you must stop believing. If you wish to grow, you have to stop seeking comfort. If all you're ever concerned with is immediate gratification in what you get out of it, and your useless happiness, your useless fleeting feelings, your useless desires, if all you're ever in comfort seeking, if all you can ever get yourself to do is tell comforting white lies that make you feel like a giddy good person, when in reality you're literally the worst thing in existence, you will never be happy. You will never grow, and you will end up on your deathbed filled with regret, wishing that you chose to live completely opposite than you did. Why should you expect happiness if you provide nothing of value to the world around you? Yeah, I think that was it then. Is it just a reception hall? I'll look. Instead of believing my assumptions, I'll check it out for myself. Instead of jumping to conclusions, I've been telling you not to do this entire time. Let's go interface with reality. See, look, I would have missed all this. I would have missed all this. Believing. Quit assuming. Quit jumping to conclusions. Quit lying to yourself. Quit lying to others. Quit being arrogant. Embrace the friction of reality. Embrace the discomfort of not knowing. The more you can get yourself to practice some humility, the more rewarding your life will be. Because I assumed it was a reception hall. How hypocritical of me. If you never open yourself up to the world, you'll never receive its blessings. I was talking to that guy until 2 in the morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. to go work out. What the fuck, bro? I genuinely almost kept myself from experiencing this. Just from one small mistake. One small assumption. This is why your decisions matter more than you think. There's more to the world than your assumptions of it. Slay! Thugger! See, and I'm just as ignorant as the next guy. I'm not some enlightened phenomenon. There's more to the world than your beliefs. There's more to you than your ego. Why would you want to crystallize yourself, remain a certain useless way for your entire existence? What's keeping you from acknowledging the infinity that you are? Why do you think that you have everything all figured out? Your human brain can't even fathom a grain of sand to its depths. What makes you think you have the entire fucking universe figured out? I'm so glad I came here. I'm so glad I went to that temple. I'm so glad I went to that market. I'm so glad I came to this gallery, museum. And I'm so glad I didn't follow my assumptions of thinking that this was just a reception hall. There's more to you than your ego. Consciousness. That's the goal. Comfort is not the goal. Comfort is easily obtained. Valueless. Consciousness is hard to obtain, yet invaluable. Do you really want to live your whole life believing, assuming, comfort seeking? Or would you like to actually exist? Growth, development, progress. That's the direction you want to head. That's the entire purpose of the human experience. You are a slice of infinity. And a slice of infinity is still infinite. Why would you believe you to be one way from the time you're born to the time you die? Why would you even believe you know who you are when you've never even experimented with what you could be? There's more to you than you think. Be water, my friend. Formless. Don't crystallize yourself. Don't think you know how you should be. Seek growth, not comfort. And remember that positivity is progress, not a good, warm, fuzzy feeling. Positivity means to add. Positivity means to grow. Negativity means to subtract. Negativity means to decay. If you want to be a positive person, that means at any cost, you push progress You aid in development. You seek growth. The growth of yourself, the growth of others, the growth of the world around you. You should not be okay with being a source of decay. There is nothing more important for the individual than their development. And if you truly love someone, you want to see them grow, not be comfortable. Comfort is the first sign of decay. Discomfort is the first sign of growth. Become more than you are now. You are infinity. There is no limit to what you can become until the day that you die to grow. Until the day that you're no longer here, you have the ability to grow. To limit that ability is a smack in the face to the powers that made you even possible. I'm loving Vietnam, loving it. So far, Cambodia and Vietnam are my favorite places in the world, and that's above America. Now, I'm sure that's biased because I don't live here, I don't exist in the economy here, but regardless, I thoroughly enjoy this place. But I think that's gonna be it for me. If you'd like to see more streams like this, where I go places I've never gone before, see things I've never seen before, and share my thoughts about the world, about reality with you, share my, ideas, make sure to subscribe and watch everything live here on Freelocated. Thank you for watching.